a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning, like the circles that you find in the windmills of your mind.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Stogie Geek Show and our marathon episode 118 show in support of Cigar Rights of America, cigarrights.org. Make sure you go renew your membership or join today. If you do so, you're and you show proof of that.
You show proof of that. You're going to get a second raffle into the box of San Cristobal Classicos. We'll raffle up, and there'll be another contest. So you'll get two entries, but I'll read up what the contest is before we close out the show.
It's just been a marathon day.
Longest cigar podcast. If someone can find us, prove us wrong, let us know. But we're going to say we set the record until we're proven wrong.
10 a.m. and we're going to go till for another 15 minutes here in our next segment.
Yeah, we're going to.
And I'll let you introduce our next special guest, Will.
You know, it's great to have this gentleman. He is. I consider him. He's like, if there's championships in the cigar industry, this man's the defending champion right now because he had the #1 cigar in the free world last year. He's a good friend of ours with the show. He was gracious enough to offer to come on. Mr. Rafael Nodal of Boutique Blends. Rafael, Will, and Paul in Rhode Island. How are you doing today?
Hey, guys. Thank you very much. Congratulations in this unbelievable accomplishment. And you're right. 8 hours doing this. An amazing labor that you guys are doing. And thank you for having me here. You mentioned the defending champion, and this is actually, well, it's not really like that, but this has been an amazing year, and I thank you guys for what you're doing for Cigar Rights of America, which is an unbelievable cause. And I always say, smoking cigar these days is like being a patriot, and we're fighting for our rights. So thank you for what you guys doing, and thank you for having me here and being your last guest on this epic proportion show.
Rafael, thank you very much. I have to say, I picked up a box of the Aging Room Maduros.
Oh, I love
recently.
That. One of my favorites.
Could you tell us about that cigar? Because I was so enamored with it that I felt I needed to have a box of that. And I have to limit my box purchases. If I bought a box of every cigar that I really liked, I need to fill my entire 1,100 square foot room here. So you have a shelf on my shelf space on in my humidor with that Aging Room Maduro. I believe in the Robusto size.
Oh, I love that cigar.
Yeah, well, I have to tell you, that cigar really shows our philosophy and my personal philosophy of blending. A lot of people go into really very strong tobacco when they talk about Maduro, and people are looking for strength on the Maduro. Well, my philosophy is a little bit different. It shows in all my other blends. I like strong cigars. I like a tremendous amount of flavor and aroma and complexity in my cigars. But that Maduro really shows my philosophy. And the reason is the Maduro wrapper is something that gives us tremendous amount of flavor. And sometimes when you pair it and you blend it with a strong tobacco, you tend to lose that flavor and that sweetness that the Maduro has. So what I did on that Maduro was really try to capture my how I like the flavor, which is a lot of flavor, not so much strength on that particular cigar, because I thought it was going to overwhelm the sweetness of the Maduro that is common inherent with the Maduro wrapper. And that's exactly so. That is all Dominican tobacco, as most of my latest blends that I've been doing, playing with a lot of different older type of tobacco. And this time blended with a very nice Nicaraguan Maduro that took us a tremendous amount of time. It was, I think, about 6 years to get it correct. And that was my first Maduro that I released. And so some people see the dark cigars and go for strong and flavors, and then that's actually more a medium flavor cigar. And when you get it, what I want you to taste is the flavor of what I believe is the true Maduro, and that sweetness and explosion of flavor. So that's what I did with that blend.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that one for sure. What's the process that you're putting that wrapper leaf through in order to get that Maduro flavors and that Maduro color?
Yeah. Well, that, like I said, that was our first Maduro. We have been experimenting with a lot of Dominican tobacco, and we before the new concept of the small batches that we have been doing, we used to do during the Oliveros King Habano days and things. We used to mix a lot of Nicaraguan tobacco. However, when we brought that Nicaraguan wrapper to Dominican, I started experimenting. It just took us a tremendous amount of time. That's actually, by the way, one of the longest and most difficult blend that I have done. It took us a long time to prepare that wrapper to have it in a specific, because the Nicaraguan tobacco, as you guys know, has a lot of strength. The Dominican has a lot of flavors, a lot of aroma, but it was never known for tremendous amount of strength. So what we did is we mixed it and finally, after many, many years, we were able to come with what I thought it was the point that I wanted, which is that sweetness that, again, is part of the Maduro wrapper, that you don't find it in the Habano and any other type of wrapper, because that sweetness only comes from that Maduro.
And I got to give you credit, Rafael. I remember what you said at the trade show when you launched that in 2013. You said, this cigar is ready. And right out of the gate, that cigar was ready. There's no question. I mean, it was smoking, it's still maintaining that consistency. That is, I got to give you my hat off to you on that.
Well, thank you. Well, as you know, sometimes we do these blendings, and sometimes you get a cigar, especially the IPCPR show, which is the trade show where we, all the manufacturers showcase the new products. And sometimes we are very busy. We put it until the last minute. We put out the blends, and it will be great to get those cigars. And normally that's, as a consumer, that's what I used to do. I get some of those cigars. Or even when my friends right now in the industry give me some of the cigars on the show, I will put it under my humidor. I will keep it for a few months, and then the cigar will be ready. But again, this one, we kept it for so long, and we aged it and finally got it. So, that's a cigar that, as you mentioned, was ready to go from the beginning. And, to the credit of our people, that cigar has continued with that particular flavor in our blend. Now, most of my blending these days are with the small batches experimentation that we have been doing. However, I have two continuous production, which is a Habao, which is a lighter wrapper, a Connecticut, Ecuador wrapper, and that's more on the mild side. And then this one, which is in the medium, these are continuous production. All of the other ones are either micro blends or micro batch or micro or small batches. So that's what we concentrate on. But these two particular ones are continued productions. Yes.
Yeah, and I gotta say, the other Maduro that you did this year, the Fortissimo M20, an absolute home run with that box press Perfecto with that San Andreas wrapper. Fantastic smoke. And Fortissimos, those are probably the most limited, if I had to say, of all your blends, correct? Right. Those are truly like one and done.
That's correct, Will. These are very micro, what we call micro batches, and although we put it on the term small batches, but it's really a more limited one. For example, our first release last year was the M21, and the M21, again, the dates, the blending of the numbers that we use depends on the date that we do. That was a Monday, the 21st day of the year. However, we come on this year with the M20, and that M20 uses, in this case, a Maduro from Mexico, which is a San Andres Valley. And, until not long ago, there was no mystique or of romanticism about the Mexican tobacco. And we know about Nicaragua, we know about all these things, and people sometimes use it and just didn't say what it was. This particular one, again, we have been aged. We are taking our time, and basically what we have become is a lab. It's a laboratory for specific blends. And one of my whole business model depends on continued releases and small batch blends. And this one is limited, M20 is limited to 2,000 cigars. So it's only 20,000 cigars, 2,000 boxes of 10 cigars. So it's a very limited box press, which is absolutely lovely. And that Preferidos box press, I think, adds a complete different dimension. You know, it's funny because most people these days, or there's a tendency and a trend to go into big ring sizes. However, I believe there's nothing like a Panatella or this small Preferido, in this case it's a 47, or a Lancero, to get amazing flavor from the blend. And so this one, we decided to do an own one, actually because we didn't have a lot of tobacco. This is almost 14-year-old tobacco, and with that beautiful San Andres wrapper. So I love for this specific small, very small batches, so micro batches, in a 47, which is, I can tell you, for me, that's where you can get the real, true flavor of the blend.
That's really cool. Rafael, what do you have coming up that you might want to talk about on the show in terms of new blends? Will, you just handed me a new one. Maybe we start there.
Well, those are the ones that are already released. I handed you
recently.
Yeah,
not too long ago.
I think there was an M20, a La Boheme,
yes,
and
La
a
Boheme,
Swag Black.
La Boheme, and which one else?
Swag Black, I gave him.
Oh, great. Well, this year, I have to tell you, this year we were, it was very important for us because our first true departure of what we were doing with the swag. Then we did the Aging Room, and the Aging Room M356 was a small batch that got a tremendous amount of traction, and people started noticing what we were doing. And then obviously we did a Quattro, which is box press, and it took a tremendous amount of really the company to a complete different level. Then we did this year we said, well, now we have the number 2 cigar of the year. So what do? We continue to improve on that, or we continue to live out a success of these two blends. And for us, it was very important to move forward and to release some of the new blends that we have worked for. And when I say new blends, by the way, we released it this year, but some of these blends that we have been working for a while.
Sure.
Like I say, we continue produce new blends. So we got La Boheme, which it was, as I said before, that's my passion. It's music, it's Cuba, and it's cigars. So I blended all this together into what I tried to think was the flavor of the golden era of the Cuban cigar. Then we got a big number 1. That is, it's a tremendous all-age tobacco. It incorporates tobacco from 97, 98, and 99. So it's great. And the Swag Black, which again we have with expansion of the Aging Room blends, we kind of didn't do much on the swag, and this we were ready. We have a blend that incorporates tobacco about 9 years old, all Habano, all from Jose's farm, my partner in Dominican. And when Hank and I tried this and we put together this with Hochi, we decided this is the new Swag Black, and we move forward with that, and that's our way of recapturing that swag expansion of the line and really paying attention to the line.
Yeah, Rafael, I gotta say, and I've said it before, I know that I told you, this has been, without a doubt, I mean, you really followed up last year with a bang, because these are 4 fantastic cigars, and it's very hard to do that, as you know, so I think you guys really should take a bow on that. It's a fantastic job. That bin number 1 is one of my favorites.
Well, thank you, and I saw some of your posting, and I do appreciate your review on that. I think you were one of you guys being one of the first ones to review the big number 1, and I have to tell you, I can really not talk a lot about the new stuff that we're preparing, but I can tell you, December, January is my busiest time of blending. And we're coming up with a lot of great things. Which I promise you guys are going to be some of the first ones to hear about it. And we have a tremendous amount of new stuff coming in, and a lot of surprises. And I actually leave into the factory on Tuesday and to start working on some of the blends that we have been really cooking for about a month and a half. So if you notice some of my blends, there's either M356, which are at the end of the year, December, the S55, which are the beginning of the year, February, the M20, the M21, these are Monday, the 21st day of the year. So all of these blends this is really when the kitchen is cooking, and you go there and you see, excitement about all the new stuff. And this is for us, it's a very exciting. And we have tremendous amount of great stuff. We have a blend that we have actually developed about 2 years ago. We have been aging further that tobacco, and we tried about a month ago, and we believe it's ready, and we're going to be releasing that the beginning, maybe February actually or March. You're going to be hearing from us about that.
Wow.
That's what I love about your blends, Rafael. There's always something new coming up next, and it's all at this standard of quality and excellence that is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking forward to what you have coming out next.
Yeah, it's a lot of excitement.
Oh, you
keeps
guys.
it fresh.
Yeah, thank you.
Keeps it fresh. How did it go when, I mean, you just came back from Las Vegas. You had a big opportunity there. You, obviously, Cigar Aficionado had the big smoke, and you had a big opportunity, I guess, to speak before everybody. How did that go?
Oh, my God. That was really, guys, a humbling experience. And, we had for the first time, we were part of the seminars. The Big Smoke has the regular handing out the cigars and discussing the cigar. We handed the M356, the M356-2, the new blend that is coming out of that, and the Swag Black. But then we had the opportunity to do the seminar. And I'll tell you, it was a long day with a lot of seminars. I was nervous because I love to talk, as I'm sure you can tell, but in front of 600 people, that was very scary. And I'll tell you, we received, Hank and I, a standing ovation, and people were standing, and that was, it was a really humbling experience for me. We were able to tell our story when we came from Cuba in the boat, and it's important to talk about that because cigars are not just what you're smoking there. There's something behind, and all my experiences as a human being, all Hank's experiences, all Jose's experience as a human being, as our journey through life and the cigar industry, that's what you're smoking. It's a result of all of those experiences, what you're getting. And in my personal case, we failed. We did very bad many times. We tried different things. We were trying to make average cigars, good cigar, but average at the end. And now we don't release something unless we believe it's excellent. You might like it. You may not like it. Might not be your taste. Might be your taste. But it is what we believe is excellent, and we're going with our guts. And, the last 3 years have been incredible. And this I'll tell you, this was a humbling experience. So this whole year and that experience was fantastic.
Oh, it's really cool.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, it's a great story, Rafael.
Yep.
We're happy you could join us on this edition of the Stoic Geek Show. Obviously, a very special edition, and part of it is paying homage to folks like yourself. Like you said, it's a rich family tradition coming from Cuba, and I like the part where you said, hey, we failed a couple times, and I think that's
a lot to say that. Yeah,
failure is a precursor to success, man.
Yeah, and the funny is you say you failed, but I was smoking some of your stuff years ago, and I just knew it was going to break through at some point for you, and I'm glad it did.
Well, you guys, I tell you, in this, you guys have been very supportive from the beginning, and Will, the blends and the things that we tried to do. But at the end of the day, we were just trying to make cigars and good cigars. But there's a lot more that goes into making cigars. You got the marketing, you got the packaging, you got the good blends, and then in the production, you need the consistency. And what we've done on this is that every single cigar should taste. It's a handmade product, and sometimes we don't succeed 100% of the time. But we are trying. I remember one time that when we did the first swag, and I think, remember, Will, this was a few years ago, you liked the Lancero, then the second batch that we did, well, it tastes so much like that. So what we learned from your comments on, many good friends is we need the stability. And what we are doing
Absolutely.
is we take our time, we lower the amount of cigars that the rollers are rolling, and we want to make sure to release the cigar when it's ready. This was an example of that this year with the Quattro. All the stores, we sold unbelievable amount of cigars. But if the cigar was not ready, I don't care how many phone calls and insults we got in the office, we just didn't ship it until it was ready. And I mean insult in a good way. I mean, people were begging, they send me the cigar, but it was not ready. So if it's not ready, we're not sending it. The cigar needs to have its time, needs to rest, and that's what we do, and we learn from that.
Very cool. Rafael, thank you so much for appearing on the Story Geek Show. rounding out our day
Hey,
here.
listen, it's an amazing experience. Thank you very much. Congratulations on what you've done, guys. Continue supporting the Cigar Rise of America, and I hope to be in your program on the next 118 or 336 episodes. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thanks so much, Rafael.
Take
care.
Wow. So,
Take care. Bye-bye, guys.
So that rounds out our first marathon, Will.
yeah, I mean, we got to thank Paul Joyle from Mr. J's and Ocean State Cigars, Robbie Streitz from AJ Fernandez, Jana Mooney from the Humidor, Glenn Loop, the executive director of CRA, Nick Molello from Molello International, Seth Gase from Seth's Humidor, Habanos Critic, Phil Zengi from Debonair, dialed in from a trip, Victor Vital from Legacy Brands, Logan from Cigar Federation, Todd Lascola from the Habana Cigar Club, and of course, Rafael Nodal. Should just recap the contest real quick.
Yes, please do.
Okay,
I was going to
so
ask you to do that.
First up, the 5-pack of the AJ Fernandez 5-pack of AJ Fernandez. There's 2 5-packs. One of them you have to get right. Who was the name of? Who is AJ Fernandez's father? His name. That's the first one. The second one, what is the wrapper on the San Latano Bull? The third prize is coming from Seth's Humidor. You can go to Seth's Humidor, who sponsored a contest out of his own personal collection of 10 fantastic cigars. The last one, the box of San Cristobal Classicos, that's going to be the one contest that we'll have open. If you're Cigar Rights of America, you show proof of that, you'll be entered into the contest once. If you ask the question, actually I'll ask one question, name one piece of breaking news you heard today on the epic 3-year anniversary show. That will give you a second entry. So plenty of opportunities. We have plenty of good prizes. But Paul, I mean, this was history today. It was amazing. I probably could have went longer, but probably it's a good idea to end.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I tried to type into the chat. My tablet just
but really,
cooperating.
thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you for everyone
For those
who
who hung
watched
in all day,
live. Yeah.
Pete, who was in the studio, Stogie Santa, and Mark Jr., who came in here as well. We can't just thank them enough. I can't wait to do this again next year. Next week, great show. We're back on Thursdays. Juan Martinez from Joya de Nicaragua. You're not going to want to miss that. We have some cigars that will also be raffling off as well next week. So Juan will be joining us. He's confirmed, so I'm looking forward to that.
And don't forget, stogiegeeks.com/blending. Sign up for that blending seminar. It's awesome.
And cigarrights.org. Get out there. If you're listening live, sign up. If not, you're listening to replay, sign up or renew. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. And thanks to everyone next door who got us drinks and food all day.
Yeah, thanks to Chris, who hung in there all day. Flawless.
Flawless.
Flawless. He did great. And Frank, who was here earlier as well.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
See you next week.